American schools are hotbeds of anti-American brainwashing. Teachers and administrators are trained to indoctrinate and enforce ideological conformity. Submission is the norm. Crucible is the true story of one schoolboy's struggle against society's obsession with an anti-American ideology. This young man refused to surrender to the psychological abuse of his superiors and the violence of his peers. In Crucible, Child Patriot American Victory, two visions of America collide. One is left standing. Does that make sense?
Western civilization is at risk of collapsing under the weight of anti-whiteism. Anti-whiteism is all concepts, ideologies, actions, and everything deriving therefrom, such as opinions, policies, laws, and rules, that inflict injury on Western kind and Western civilization. There is no Western civilization without Western kind. If you care for the well-being of Westmen and their great civilization, read Go Free by Jason Köhne. Arm yourself with the psychological defense for the psychological warfare being waged against Westmen, and spread this knowledge to others. Become an advocate for white well-being. Support white positive persons and organizations. Let anti-white persons and organizations know that you disapprove of their words and actions. Call out anti-whiteism wherever you see it. Protect children from anti-white indoctrination. Do whatever else you feel is best within legal means to help ensure the well-being of Western kind. Thank you in advance.
There is no excellence where there is equality.
For every diversity hire,
there is a diversity fire.
It is not the similarities that make us the same.
It is the differences that make us different.
The truth is hate
to those who hate the truth.
Atonement cannot be made for a grievance never committed.
Hollywood isn't history.
In a world of collectivism,
individualism is suicide.
There is no Western civilization without Western kind.
Are you all about ready to get this underway? I think one more song. We'll get fired up again on a little bit of bluegrassy music, and then we're going to roll with this roast. I guess I can begin talking to all of you about Karlyn and her fans. I guess specifically speak to her fans. Are you all able to hear me? Let me know in the live chat. Who cannot love this music? Can everybody hear me okay? Can hear me, but I'm a bit quiet. I guess because the music is rocking all around me. I want to say to Karlyn's fans, I know that some of them might be with us tonight. I'd like for you to sit back, enjoy, and understand this is just a roast of your favorite person. We don't mean her any harm. Are any of you with us? If any of her fans speak up and they want to just have a little bit of a debate, then that's fine. They can stay and have a little bit of a debate. But I know there are some antique nationalists who are showing up, trying to cause trouble, as they are wont to do. But understand that we love her. We love her here. And she is more than welcome to jump into the live chat while we talk about her attack on me, her public attack on me, everything that she stands for and against. Thanks, bass guitars. Enjoy until the end of the song. That's right, y'all. And we are rolling in, going free. How is everybody doing? Can you hear me okay? A few technical difficulties. I don't know if it's Karlyn, the wonderful Karlyn, and what she's up to. But I do want to say hello to everybody before we get properly and fully underway here. Talking about that, this is a roast. It's comedic. It's not, nothing here is serious. Everybody knows we actually love Karlyn. There's a deep and abiding love between the two. It's just a comedic roast, and you see these from time to time. You can find them on YouTube. This looks like says everybody can hear me okay. I want to start off by thanking the wonderful who came in late this past Sunday. I love Jesus Christ, who financially gifted $10 US. God bless you, sweet sister. What a true champion you are. $10 financial gift, and she says, for White Wellbeing. Thank you so very much. Boy, the Ant Nats have shown up tonight. How many of these folks that have shown up just being absolutely disgusting do you think are actually Karlyn's community? Or are they the Ant Nats deciding to show up and do their Ant Nat nitwittery? Raymond says that the audio is good. Fantastic. We're going to roll. I see the great Zero Talent is with us. J-Link, Ghost Rider, 0022, Mystic Knight, Tom, Mr. Cat Fookers, great to see you. Nathaniel says, LMAO, we didn't hear really much of over the banjo. That's fine. That's fine. It's exactly the way it should be. There was nothing important there anyhow. Karlyn has fans openly been challenged to a debate. Karlyn's fans have openly been challenged to a debate. Yes, indeed. If you are here, then try to debate us. and I will burn you to the ground. Sabata is here, of course, metaphorically, in a loving, comedic sort of way. Nancy Drew, the great Nathaniel, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for that champion, making the wheels turn in the background. Master Rebel, Dirk, the great Franklin, Peanut is with us. Wonderful to see you. Shauna's with us. Was that damn Laney, Jack, Britt, and the dear, sweet sister Carlisle Cockatoo is with us. Hello, dear sweet sister. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. Let me see. Did I mention Shauna and Emily and Karlyn Borysenko? I guess that was maybe it was that her. I doubt it. Right, another one of the imposters at work again, doing the thing that they do. But I'm guessing it's probably more likely. Although maybe it is her community. Maybe it is. Monty is here. LHC. Well, why don't we go ahead and I will say hello as we continue to roll. And but to let you know, this is just a roll in, and we're just gonna have a bit of fun. And so much fun that I even put a sports ball shirt on. That's how much fun that we're having here today. And if you have any questions or comments, please do ask those. Make sure you tag me when you do. And you can do so on YouTube. You can do so on D Live. I might see those. And you can also potentially do them over there on Odysee. I might see those as well. Entropy is the main place to land. And we're going to have some fun. Entropy is the main place to land. If you have any financial gifts, you can gift there as well. You can gift over on Cash App. Pardon me, the URLs for both are in the description below. You can even financially gift over there on Odysee. But whatever you do, do not financially gift $1 on Odysee. It is almost 40% that they charge on $1. So you might as well just give it all to Odysee. Forget about it. Looks like $5 are up on Odysee is the only thing that is legitimate. Everything else, though, Cash App, Entropy, ask your questions, tap in, tap out, and challenging, calling out to Karlyn's supporters. If you have any real arguments, make them. Show up and make your actual arguments. I doubt you will. But show up, and then we'll talk about this, and we'll get this. I'm going to do this for a moment. Let's see. We'll do that, and then we'll do this. And this is how we're going to get things started. With the very first thing I wanted to do to get things started, talking about Karlyn Borysenko and some of her community, because the rest of her community is made up of good people. Most of her community is composed of good people. And I want those folks to know that we don't dislike Karlyn. I don't want anybody to harass Karlyn. Do not harass her. Do not message her. Do not get into a spat with her. Leave Karlyn Borysenko, conservative heartthrob, alone. Just leave her alone. Let her do her thing. She's making good money by way of YouTube and PragerU, or whoever is financing her to use abstractions to lead Western kind down another dead-end alley, so that this will be the final one, and there'll be no reclamation of our destiny. No white well-being for Karlyn. But for her community, I would like for you to just take a moment. You're watching this live or you're watching this in replay. Take a moment. I would like you to listen to maybe this and have a few laughs with us. We love Karlyn. And you can laugh at your leader who sits in that big throne of hers that she has in I guess it's Twitter or something. She's banned me, so she's a bit afraid of me on Twitter. But I never talked to her on Twitter, so but she did ban me nonetheless. And but just hang out, listen to what we have to say. Watch my introductory video on my channel. Are we what she claims that we are? Or are we something quite different? Is she not gatekeeping? Is she not trying to prevent you from seeing and hearing what we have to say? I would say that she's trying to prevent you from seeing and hearing what we have to say. And evidence of that is that she is actually live streaming my live stream because she loves me. She definitely loves me. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But for now, she wants to gatekeep. She wants to get out ahead of you. And I'm talking to all of her fans right now. I think she's got like 100,000 and a couple subscribers on YouTube. which is kind of sad when you have, PragerU and whoever else financially supporting you, and you have all of the anti-whites at YouTube wanting to push you and abstractionisms forward as the defense for Western kind and Western civilization, because that always works for us, doesn't it? It always works, except no, it's never worked. How many lifetimes does it take? And I ask the fans, Karlyn's fans, how many lifetimes does it take? How many people have to fail? Your grandparents, your great-grandparents were using the abstractions that she pushes on you. And look at the state that America is in, that Canada is in, that the UK is in. They're all going down the toilet. Maybe it's time to stop listening. So for somebody with 100,000 plus subs to be hunting down somebody with 20,000 subs who is shadow banned and silenced everywhere he goes, kicked off numerous platforms simply for caring about the well-being of white people, that's really kind of sad. It's really kind of pathetic to only have 100,000 subs. So feel sorry for you there, dear sister. Really should be up around 500,000 with all of that sort of support. But I understand you have things in your way, like your personality and looks and ideas. Now, for the rest of you, those who are followers of hers, you're going to find today by listening to me and by watching the introductory video that we are actually something very different than she would like to claim. And so we're going to go ahead and have this conversation. We're going to have a bit of fun. I have a slightly different message than Karlyn, your leader, does. So you'll have to have a little bit of patience and listen to what we have to say here. You're going to find something that's going to be especially, I guess, perhaps unsettling for you, because you're going to say, well, wait a second, Karlyn could not have lied to us. Borysenko herself could not have lied to us. Well, we actually here invite people of all races and all immutable characteristics to participate with us in putting an end to anti-whiteism, which is anti-white ideology. It targets white people and thereby is destroying Western civilization. You don't ignore the target of the attack. No, you acknowledge the target of the attack. And then good people of all races, as they have come to us to assist us, come to us, and they will continue to come to us to help to put an end to that which is destroying the world that they love too, Western civilization. So this is just a roast. It's a mini roast. I don't intend to be here for a very long time, although I don't know. We'll see. But it's just a roast. It's just comedy. We love Karlyn. I don't want anybody to vex her. I don't want anybody to reach out and bother her and say anything negative about her at all. I have sent her a gift of one of my books, which she accepted. So I like Karlyn. We're practically the same. We are practically the same, except for the whole gatekeeping and white people need to die in a pool of abstractions. So let's take a look over what happened this past Wednesday, because this Karlyn decided she was going to unleash all barrels on yours truly, but our entire community, everybody whose practice is going free. It's a practice, folks, for those who are new, those who are part of Karlyn's community. It's just a practice. There's not a group. There's not an organization. It's a practice to help you free yourself of the anti-white narrative in a way that it actually works. Now, I know you're, the leader here, Karlyn Borysenko. She's got a massive ego, doesn't she? A massive ego and a small IQ. If I wanted to kill myself, I think I would climb to the top of her ego and leap to her IQ. And that would be the end. That would be the end of me, because that's the difference between her ego and her IQ. I never forget the first time I saw Karlyn, the first time I saw her on YouTube. I mean, I try to forget it, but I never forget it. I never forget, because I thought to myself, wow, there's somebody who gets it. She just, well, wait, what did she just say? No. And then I saw another gatekeeper, so that was problematic. I mean, but she has on Wednesday, I didn't know this was going on. And suddenly I had a bunch of people reaching out to me. I was on another show and they were reaching out and they were saying, my God, Karlyn Borysenko, she's going nuts over the fact that people are acknowledging that the attack is focused on white people. And it was just like text after text after text. People were sending me because she kept tweeting and tweeting and tweeting. I mean, she was all over me, like hair all over her back. I mean, that's just, she couldn't get enough of no white guilt. I joke though. Come on, I'm just kidding. Her back's not covered in hair. And I'm not going to do a bunch of fat jokes either. I mean, she's smooth. She's like a porpoise, like a beached porpoise. But not a bunch of fat jokes today, because I'm kidding. It's jokes. This is about a mini roast, so I want to go easy here. It's nothing bad, but let's play the association game. What comes to mind when I say porpoise? I love fat though. I had two grandmothers who were most chunky, and it used to be great to hug a chunky grandmother. You know, she would come and both grandmothers, and they would just say hello. And, you run up, and the kids, they run up, they give the grandmother a hug. And wouldn't be fun if she were just like skeletal. But in fact, many guys, we're told nowadays that fat is really beautiful. Diabetes is wonderful. Heart disease is erotic. Many guys genuinely like fat. They say more cushion for the pushing. So I get it. It works. It works for a lot of people. So any jokes about fat, they're just, it's what comes with the territory of doing a roast. Yes, I see that I misspelled conservative on the thumbnail, so I'll have to get to that later. But I decided to use Heartthrob because femme fatale really didn't fit Karlyn, and really Heartthrob is gender neutral, and I thought she would approve of that. But it looks like the chat is already going crazy, so let's bring that back up here, and we will see what we can. Golly, you all are going nuts. All right, let's see. My stepdad's not mean. And we have White Student Transmission financially gifting transmission $5. Thank you so much, good brother, a great champion. $5 financial gift and a big salute to you. He says, recruit, brother. You're live on Karlyn's platform. Oh, brother, like I didn't know it was going to work out that way. Don't you love having a game of wits with an unarmed person? I mean, it's just fantastic. So let's go. What are we going to talk about today? Where do we have these things? I know I have them somewhere. They're over here. They're over here on the screen. We're going to talk about her tweets. Let's see. Let's talk about a few of these tweets, and we're going to get underway. How about this one? There she is. Love as she can be. And she tweets this. This is one of the, if not the very first tweet on Wednesday, it's one of the tweets. She writes, if anyone has questions about why I block people, it's because I'm almost always find people using this language coming from very bad places. Kind of like that cat scratch rash she has, or at least is rumored to have. Sorry, not going to apologize for blocking white identitarians. What you did, just apologize, Karlyn. You just apologize. You're not going to, but then you did. Education time. We're not white identitarians. To all of Karlyn's audience, not a single one of us is an identitarian, a white identitarian. I've objected to this title since it came over from Europe, primarily France, and where there's an organization there and they believe different things than we do in the practice of going free. So just a little correction there. I wonder if from now on, Karlyn will honor the fact that we are not white identitarians, because it's kind of misleading, Karlyn. It's kind of misleading to tell your audience that we are things like white identitarians and all of these other names, when there is nowhere in all of my decades in service to white well-being and the work that we have been doing, at any point have we ever said that we were identitarians or white nationalists. Never been any of those things. In fact, we argue against them. I argue against what we call antique nationalists. The issue is, of course, that Karlyn wants to victimize Western kind. That's why she doesn't want you talking about those who are being victimized. It's immoral in her mind to care about white people, to care about them being victimized. So this is how she gets started. Somebody criticized her, and she said, she's blocking people. And I surmise, don't go over to her channel and bother her. Like, her community is coming over here. Don't do that. Don't bother her. Because she's an anti-white who calls herself a conservative, and the anti-whites who call themselves Marxists and communists and Antifa and etc., and those who call themselves employees of YouTube, they will do her bidding. And we'll just jump on to the next tweet she has here. When you see people forcefully pushing you to say CRT is anti-white like this, you have to understand that it is part of their strategy to normalize the anti-white language. Oh my God, that is the dumbest. She is so smart. Karlyn is so smart. It reminds me of the time that she talked about the thesaurus in that movie Jurassic Park. That's how bright she is. Normalize the anti-white language. No, the anti-white language is already normalized, dumb. It's called anti-whiteism. We are trying to normalize white positivity, and you want to prevent that from reaching your audience. I wonder if she'll be willing to continue to stream what we're doing here and allow her audience to hear me, or will she be talking over me or eating over me or whatever she can to prevent her audience from hearing what we have to say. All of those people out there of all races, you're all welcome to help us put an end to anti-whiteism. You all know that's what's actually happening. You all know who the actual victims are. You just have to get over your fear of saying what is really taking place, and you can then have success. And you've got to also get over the gatekeeper here. Just, leap over her, run around her, maybe even use your walker to get around her. It's not like she's fast or anything. I mean, she's not going to be able to knock you down. So just whatever it takes, crawl. It's going to be fine. She writes here, it's literally written in their manifesto. This guy has read that book. So I don't know who this person is who read the book and then tweeted it, and then she's retweeting the person. But it's a book. And why does she call it a manifesto? The book is called Go Free, and we're about to release edition or iteration 2 of the second edition, and updated 100 more or so pages in it. It's marvelous, and it's going to help you understand the world, help you understand what the anti-whites who dominate the regime are doing to us, help to understand why there are people who gatekeep and try to force abstractions on you rather than the truth of what the anti-whites are really doing to us, rather than the truth. Since non-white people come to our aid and support us in defense of these attacks that are obviously against white people, white children, her argument that no, it's just dividing people, and it's just is the absolute invalidation of what works. You need to come away from this, get around the gate, and you'll see. So using this manifesto word is a way to poison the well. She doesn't want you to see what is written. She just posts a couple of pictures there, and please read what you see there, because all of it is welcoming to all people and acknowledges reality in a way that you have never seen before elsewhere. Your eyes are going to pop wide open, and then you'll see Karlyn forevermore in your rearview mirror. So please have a look, all of you. And I will, when iteration 2 comes out, I might even lower the price even more to make it practically a giveaway to all of Karlyn's community. How about that? How does that sound for an idea? All right, let's jump over to the next one. What do we have here? There we go. Oh, yes. Just for funsies. Just for funsies. I'll take a look at what some of these freaks are saying in a minute. I'm guessing it's a bunch of antique nationalists, people who like to play Nazi, who are who are showing up and pretending to be Karlyn supporters, because I'm sure Karlyn supporters are good people, and they wouldn't be behaving this way. So, but I'll take a look at a moment. But she says here in the next tweet, just for funsies, I'm going to leave this here. And no one was surprised. What's the point? What's the actual point there? She went through this video, this interview I did of Lauren Witzke, to find a moment, probably a 100th of a second, or I get 10th of a second, or whatever she zeroed in on, to find a point where both Lauren and I are thinking. But of course, the rest of the interview looked like that. That's what the rest of the interview looked like. So if you'd like to see that interview and hear sane people talking about sane things, then you can come on over and you can watch that, because there's a big difference between what the gatekeeper shows you and what actually happens. Gatekeeper, what actually happens. And gatekeeper. So remember that, folks, when you are wondering whether or not to continue imbibing your information from the good doctor over there. Let's see. What does she now look at what she tweets next, and then I'm going to have to upload a couple more of these from the file. But because she really went nuts. I mean, I'm serious. She was really all over me on Wednesday. No wonder I smelled something unusual. By the way, she writes, I handed this story to several journalists. Sounds like something a conservative would do, right? Doesn't it sound like something a conservative would immediately do? I handed this to a couple of journalists on a silver platter, including ones you've heard of. Well, that means she's name dropping there without dropping any names. Yeah, she's so important. She's so important. Including some you've heard of. And all they had to do was go on Amazon and download this guy's, there it is again, not his book, but his manifesto. He writes a manifesto. No poisoning the well there or anything like that. To see everything I said was 100% right. Really? Was it 100% right? I mean, we've already shown some of your lies. And then what does she write? Oh, to her chagrin, none of them bothered to do it. You know why, Karlyn? You know why? Because none of them have a hard-on for me like you do. That's why. None of them have a hard-on for me like you do. I mean, you just absolutely take the cake. They looked into what I have written. They looked into the many thousands of hours of video that I have made, speeches that I've given, and they said, wait a second. This guy is actually nothing like she claims him to be. This whole community of people who practice Go Free in their religions, in their lodges, in their political groups, and whatever it might be. And this is why Karlyn is really so upset. And not only Karlyn, but this is what's so magnificent, is it's the entire conservative superstructure. They are all pissed off over the fact that the work that we are doing, without multimillionaires funding us, like the conservative movement has to fund them, like the Republican Party has to fund them. Without the millionaire help, we are changing the landscape. So we're doing something right. We're doing something right. We don't have big PR firms finding out what's the best way in little focus groups. How do we reach these people? How do we keep them dumb as possible? That's what Karlyn's community says. How do we keep them as dumb and as gate-kept as possible so they can't get out and find the truth? How do we do that? Well, millions of dollars put into that, and yet we, this community of champions, are changing the world for the better, for everyone of every race and every religion, and the environment as well. That's what we're doing. You know, the last time we had a dust-up, Karlyn and I, the last time we had a dust-up, she actually paid her audience to talk about my penis. I wonder what's been on Karlyn's mind. I mean, can you imagine? She's like, okay, we're going to refute this guy. Let's talk about his penis. And I will pay you to do it. How many of you will join me in talking about Jason's penis? I will pay you. My God, how desperate do you have to be? How desperate? I haven't opened a single love letter from her. Not a single one. I don't care how many you send to me, Karlyn. She's just like, I'll find somebody to talk about Jason's penis with. I'll pay them. I will just break out the dollars and I will pay them and I will give them free accounts and free access. Did you see all the shit she was giving away? For Christ's sake, just to talk about my dong. That is what this woman had to do. I mean, it's not like she has a gigantic penis pillow on her bed that she has named Jason. I mean, maybe she does have that. I don't know. Maybe she does. Right? And she just cuddles up to it each night. Jason, my penis pillow. Please open my love letters. I know she's going to do it again. You know she's going to do it again. She's going to break out the dollars again, and then they're going to call down from PragerU. Shut this bitch up. Tell her to stop talking about his dick. What in the hell is she's doing? What? She's giving away money? What in the hell is wrong with her? Pull the plug on that. We are cutting her pay. Demotion time. Demotion. She's giving away free accounts? Can somebody get this girl laid? Actually paying people for dick jokes about yours truly. I know how we can settle this, Karlyn. I know exactly how we can settle it. You whip yours out and we'll see who's bigger, you or me. Go ahead. That's how we'll settle this. Whip yours out and we'll see who's bigger. And then we will finally have this resolved. She's unhappy with me, though. Karlyn is very unhappy with me. I understand. I get it, because we have the way, the truth, the love, the redemption, and she has to gatekeep. She's like a goalie, standing in the hole of the fence. And that's where the size comes in. And, it makes it harder for folks to get around. But she's very upset. Karlyn, I am an acquired taste. I am an acquired taste, which means that if you don't like me, you have to acquire some taste. And then you'll like me, like all of these good people. So what I'll do is I will pull this down and then pull a couple of these down, and we will load the next slew of her tweets that she got into because she couldn't get enough of Jason. She couldn't get enough of No White Guilt. Can't get enough of hearing about the anti-white and anti-whiteism being used. And don't call CRT. Have you heard her saying it? I mean, that's torture enough. How does anybody stick around? I wonder if any of those numbers are correct about the subscriber base. Because how does anybody tolerate her melodious voice? It's so beautiful. I'm surprised she doesn't sing opera, and I guess to prisoners, because who else would listen to that? All right, let me see. I want to quickly check and see what we have over here. We have Master Rebel has financially gifted $10 US. God bless you, brother. That is amazing. Thank you. $10. We'll see. Remember, the other thing that she really, when she was giving away all of that money, the thing that she was really on me about and just putting it on me was how much more money she makes. Remember that? On her stream, she's like, look at how much money I make. It's so much more than what Jason makes. So we'll see if she does that again. Nonetheless, Master Rebel, financially gifting $10, says, hi, OG. What is this? From Iceland, my brother. Wish I could give you more, but this is all I can spare now. Keep doing Odin's work, he says. Well, thank you so much for that. I deeply appreciate that. And a big hello back from the once great state of Virginia. And we are planning on making it great again by getting rid of all these abstractionist conservative folks who are standing in the way. Everybody who's it's not, if you're conservative, it's not your fault. You're being misled by gatekeepers, PragerU, and what's the other guy's? Charlie, what's his name? I really think actually that he and Karlyn are the same person. Have you ever seen them together? Have you ever seen them together? I mean, seriously, I'm just going to wait until. Does anybody know what's that guy's name again? Irish Ice, financially gifting $5. Thank you so much. Looks like Mystic Knight says she was already bragged in the chat that she'll make another $1,000 verified channel and all. Well, we'll see what we end up doing here tonight. She has an audience much, much larger. So percentage-wise, we're punching above our weight. And, of course, she's being paid by PragerU or whoever else is paying. Who knows? I don't know. Ask CNN and ask. I guess she talks to those reporters regularly, so she can hook you up. Charlie Kirk. That's the question. Is Charlie Kirk and Karlyn Borysenko the same person? Have we seen them together? We'll find out. Somebody knows the answer to this. Irish Ice writes, I was at Winners yesterday, and a white female manager attempted to shut down my white positive speech. I told her in front of everyone that inclusive was an anti-white code word and that her comments were anti-white. She started apologizing. How do you like that? How often do you get that when you are a conservative, when you are an American first person, when you are a MAGA person, and we love you if that's what you are. How often do you shut down the anti-whites? What you would, misname a Marxist or a woke person because you're brain dead, or somebody who's politically correct because you're just incorrect, or whatever it is, however you view it, and you're just wrong there. But how often do you shut them down and shut them up and win the day, the moral person? Happens here all the time. You should at least try it on for size. You should at least get behind the wheel. Breathe in the smell of the leather. Feel the hundreds and hundreds of horsepower rumbling under the hood. No electric cars here. And then see what it's like to be the moral champion in our story rather than the inferior leper in the anti-white narrative. Try that on for size. Instead of just getting together in your little cliques and complaining about how the anti-whites always mop the floor with your asses, try winning try victory for a change. Let's see. Lala Song, financially gifting $10. And yeah, you can let folks, if you hear her say something and you want to share it with me over here, let me know. I'll speak to it. Dean Wood says, good evening, Jason, and a good evening to you as well. Azimuth Clark is with us. And again, thank you to Mystic Knight for bringing that information to me. Yeah, I think that we're going to be punching way above our weight class here. Or should we say sumo wrestling? It seems like a bit more of a sumo contest as we confront the stunningly beautiful Karlyn Borysenko. Fit and Healthy at Any Age says, we love you, no white guilt. Well, much love in return. And we had, look at these. These are the wonderful conservatives, potentially some of the conservatives from Karlyn's community saying, you're disgusting. Disgusting, because we're winning for Western civilization and everybody who calls Western civilization home. Of every single race, of every single religion. What do you think about that? Let's see. Fit and Healthy at Any Age says, I have a Jason pillow. I knitted it myself. Mr. Fuker says, oh God, the entropy question widget. It's full of anti-whiteism. Yes, it is. And that's okay. let's see. I have an idea who you are. I'm genuinely upset that Karlyn would harass and belittle you. Lala Song writes, I have no idea who you are. I'm genuinely upset that Karlyn would harass and belittle you. I literally got shadow banned for asking questions, not even justifying anything. Do you see what happens with the conservatives? This is conservatives, First America types, MAGA people, patriotic people, nationalist people. You are under the spell of gatekeepers, and they are preventing you from reaching what works. We have, just take a look at the videos we have and all the success we have. I mean, she even talks about it in some of these tweets that we're going to be talking up that she herself made. Tweets that she made. Do you want to win? Do you want to have victory for Western civilization? Then you've got to get started here. Lala Song says, hello, I'm not white. So here we have Lala Song saying over here in the live chat what just happened to him or her. No idea who I am, but genuinely upset that Karlyn is harassing and belittling me. And here we have $10 financial gift from Lala Song. $10. Giving money to the good work that we're doing. And he or she says, I'm not white, I'm Native American and mixed. I don't understand why Karlyn and her fans, like myself, have judged you so harshly. You don't seem like a bad person. I was shadow banned when I asked a basic question. And I'm assuming that she and her moderators thought I was white. Oh my God. What a victory right at the beginning of the conversation. Right now, you know they're on the phone right now. Who runs PragerU? They're going to pick, they're dialing, speed dialing. Shut her down. I don't care if you got to pull the power on her house, is what they're saying. Whatever it takes, shut her down. She's losing. She's losing. Get her out of the ring. Throw the towel in. Lala Song, already a huge victory. $10 financial gift. Hello, I'm not white. I'm Native American and mixed. I don't understand why Karlyn and her fans like myself have judged you so harshly. You don't seem like a bad person. I was shadow banned when I asked a basic question. I'm assuming that she and her moderators thought I was white. So that's what you get, folks. Let me, I got to turn the AC on. Because as you know, we are still in summer for a little bit longer in the once great state of Virginia, and it is heating up. You know, I don't think that Karlyn, and I'm honestly saying this. I don't think that Karlyn is, she's doing a terrible job. I mean, she's doing a good job. She's getting you all some facts, you know, kind of like a used car dealer trying to sell you a car with a body in the trunk. I mean, she's getting facts to you, and that's good. So you want to at least applaud that. Getting a few facts to you. So I don't want to speak too harshly of her. So I don't know. Have you watched her before? Have you seen her? Have you seen her do her videos? I mean, she's gatekeeping the hell out of me, banning every single person in her chat that's like, wait a second, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you attacking somebody that welcomes people of all races and all religions to participate in an effort that is succeeding, that has actually changed, by Karlyn's own admission, changed the societal conversation? That's success. That is success. And how have we done that? With intelligence and willpower. We are going to put an end to that which divides all of the races by pitting them all against Western kind. We're going to put an end to that. And non-white people will be able to stand side by side with us to say enough is enough. We want our law and order. We want our right to self-defense. We want our First Amendment. So we're going to put an end to these attacks on Western civilization and Western kind. But have you watched her before? How many of you out there, by a hand of severed limbs from asking questions on her chat, Just raise your nub up in the air. And how many of you have actually watched Karlyn Borysenko? Have you seen her teeth? I mean, there are people out there with better teeth than she has. I mean, they're not as bad as they used to be. I mean, she used to be able to eat an apple through a fence, but I mean, the teeth are rough. They're rough. It's like her tongue is in prison behind her teeth. I'm just noting something. I'm not, I love Karlyn. I'm not speaking bad of her. I'm just accurately describing her. Let's move on to the next tweet. She writes, I never call CRT anti-white, and this is why. And she's got a little hand pointing down to another one of her tweets. And it says here, in June, I caught Jason here in the act. She caught me in the act, folks. I mean, how was she? Were you at my window? Were you trying to peer through the window? You caught me in the act. A peeping Tom added to her resume. I caught him. Thank God. I caught him in the act of admitting that they, and then parenthetically, in scare quotes, like anti-whites of all varieties use, but parenthetically, the white positive well-being movement he leads. Okay, first of all, I'm not the leader of it. I'm another guy in the line of a whole host of champions. There isn't a single person up on a rostrum here with all of the spotlights on that person. We have many, many champions doing wonderful things. So just to correct you on that as well. But thank you for pointing out that it is the white positive, white well-being. We are, if anything, an activist. I'm an activist for white well-being. These people here, they practice Go Free. That is all about getting our people and getting everyone out of the anti-white narrative. And then she goes on to say, are pushing are pushing to call CRT anti-whites to try to normalize the language. Well, at least you've got that right. I mean, that's the true. We are normalizing and have successfully normalized anti-white and anti-whiteism, white well-being, Western kind, white erasure. Hey, folks out there that are Karlyn's fans, do you know what's going on in America and across Western civilization? It's called white erasure. Everything that white people have done is being erased. It's being erased from the history books. It's being erased from street signs. It's being erased when they pull down our statues of our heroes. It doesn't matter what those people did, whether it was for society in general or specifically even for non-white people. If it's a white person depicted on the statue, they're pulling it down because it's a depiction of a white person. You need to wake up, folks. You need to acknowledge the target of the victimization. For God's sakes, in all seriousness, comedy aside, if you are going to allow the anti-white concept, the word racist, if you are going to allow that to prevent you from stepping in front of the harm that anti-whites want to inflict on white children, then you are a coward and we don't want you. Everyone else that says no word is going to stop me from protecting white children, then those are the ones we are looking for. Look lively, folks. We want heroes. The time is short. So she goes on here. Karlyn says, people said I was crazy. How often do they say that, Karlyn? How often do people say, Karlyn's like one of those people. Have you ever had one of those friends where they're like always telling you that they're not crazy? Have you had one of those? And at like the 50th time, you're like, actually, I think you are crazy. I think you are a little crazy. Karlyn is one of those people. She's one of those folks who's always saying, I'm not crazy. I am not. I am not. I'm not. Stop saying that. So she's telling you all the time that she's not crazy. I mean, me thinks the lady doth protest too much. I know I flipped the lines on the Shakespeare there, but I can do that because I can quote him so readily. Here's a clip of him, meaning me, not Shakespeare. I don't think Karlyn probably reads much of Shakespeare, celebrating his success with it on Twitter. So what I really want to know is, when Karlyn made this clip, how low did she dim the lights? She pours herself a glass of vino, the vinophile, enophile she is. She pours herself a glass of vino and speaks sweet nothings into my ear by way of the side of her telephone. Is that what she did? So yes, we are the ones responsible for that. We take full credit. And folks, remember, you have been in the conservative movement, however, Republican movement, MAGA movement, Make America Great, whatever it is, Patriot movement, for how long? How many victories do you have? Don't you just have nothing but an endless string of losses? Don't you just have the same thing? You show up every day and it's just like, here are all the ways we've lost again. Here are all the things that have been erased again. Here's another litany of ways the anti-whites who call themselves Democrats or Marxists or whatever, or Republicans, here's another way that they've ruined everything that is America or Canada or UK or Australia or New Zealand or Germany or Italy or whatever it is. Don't you just show up and hear the same, hear all the ways that we're losing? Doesn't that get tiring? How about come someplace? How about engage in something that's going to change you? That's going to make you a better person, because you need to treat all of these crazy ideas in your head. Unleash your potential. Get around the gatekeepers. Okay, so what do we have here? She starts off with, so am I still crazy? Oh my God. Oh my God. No, Carl. No, honey. No, you're not crazy. You're not crazy. Please. You're not not when compared to Norman Bates. You're not crazy. Please. Uncle Fester, do you need some fluffing? So am I still crazy? I need people to tell me I'm not, because the voices in my head say that I am. Where's Fester? I know I need some fluffing. And then she dribbles on. Am I returning to my leftist ways? Your leftist ways. This is just anti-white ideas here, folks. That's another thing that's going to help clear your head when you get out from behind these conservative and Republican and MAGA gatekeepers, is that you find out that all of these different folks are just anti-whites who call themselves different names. You can have an anti-white who calls themselves a Democrat or a Marxist. You can have an anti-white who calls himself a conservative. If it's very easy to figure out what they're doing. If their arguments, if their positions lead to outcomes that victimize Western kind and what we create, which is Western civilization, that we have brought a great many other people into, if it causes that victimization, that means that they're anti-white. That means they're anti-white. We are a movement of love, hope, and redemption that invites everyone of all immutable characteristics to participate. And once again, I will say, this is just a roast. I don't mean anything negative that I'm saying about Karlyn. She is a lovely person, and we are simpatico. So this is just a roast. It's just comedy, folks. You've watched Comedy Central. She goes on here, or did I see something other people didn't pick up on? Oh my God. You're seeing things, Karlyn. You're seeing things that other people aren't seeing. Talk about an admission and a cry for help to the psychiatric community. Am I crazy? And am I seeing things that you're not? Somebody help me. This is why I won't say anti-white. She puts in scare quotes. Here's hoping people stop, all caps, using this language for likes and clicks. You're doing what they want you to do. Really, what we want you to do? You mean me and all of the other poor people who are in the practice of going free and changing the world with it? without any money, to make it happen? Are we the ones that are forcing you to do these things? Or indeed, or do you not have a litany of powerful, wealthy, conservative, Republican leaders, MAGA leaders, and the like, who are the ones who are leading you and telling you how to talk and telling you how you cannot talk? We're just saying you can come here and practice Go Free, and then you can leave. You can let the door hit you on the ass. I couldn't care less. But when you come here, you engage in the practice of going free in your community. You'll change the ideas. You'll change the thoughts. You'll have victories with your friends, family members, your strangers, people you could never reach before. You can't talk about your conservative stuff with your family members who are not conservative, because they will get up on their moral high horse and tell you how immoral you are for doing so. Well, indeed, when you go free, you are the one on the moral high horse, and they're the ones who end up shutting up. So, do you want to win? Jonas is here, says, ahoy, watching he's watching from Eastern Europe, or do you call it Central Europe, brother? I remember you got a little perturbed by that. Slots is with us. Great to see you, brother. And it looks like we have a financial gift from Ace. Thank you so much, Ace. $15. Thank you, sweet sister. $15 financial gift. And she writes, thanks for all you do. Much appreciated. Well, God bless you, and thank you so very much. You know, a big difference between the ladies in the white positive sphere and the lady at the top of the Karlyn Borysenko gatekeeping project is that they are concerned about the well-being of Western civilization, everyone who lives there. And Karlyn is concerned with my penis. So that's the big difference between the ladies in the white positive sphere and Karlyn here. Let's go on to the next. Let's go on to her next. This is the eighth tweet, I think, so far. She writes here, here's a clip of Jason talking about including or influencing. Look at that. Do you all influence the candidates, or do they not tell you we're going to use these tools that always lose? Does that not sound familiar? How many times, if you're a conservative or Republican and you see your favorites get up on Fox News and on talk radio and they say, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. You just give them some more money and give them your votes so they can stay there at the public trough, and they're just going to continue using tools that lose. Okay? You know, it's like you're going to have a competition of like roofing or something, and the Democrats are going to use the nail guns, and the Republicans are going to try to nail the nails into the roof with their faces. I mean, it's just they use the tools that always lose. That's what conservative leadership does. They are gatekeeping you. You're in a pen, conservative people, proud Americans. You're in a pen. You need to get out of the pen and you need to go free. Here's a clip of Jason, by her own words, talking about influencing GOP Senate candidate B.G. Masters, to use his language. He also brags about inventing the term anti-white and how Blake can use this language because it's more acceptable than National Socialism. She actually writes that here. Talk about malice aforethought. Malice aforethought. Karlyn, I wonder, is your ass jealous of all the shit that comes out of your mouth? I really want to know. Is it jealous of all the shit coming out of your mouth? Because that is malice aforethought. Nothing from top to bottom. I have been active in the white sympathetic sphere for almost 3 decades. And nowhere are you going to find any statement, any book, any speech, because I've never been this way. I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of video and I know that she's watched them. I know that Karlyn's watched them. She's been busy playing that banjo late at night. So I know, I know she's watched them. There is no nat. We make fun of antique nats, antique nationalists. We absolutely, we say that we're going to recapture our destiny, and it's not going to be voting or violence, my friends. Not going to be voting or violence. Not the way that it looks now. You change the landscape with the language that is easily understandable, easily identifiable, easily employed, is a curative contagion. And then the conversation about all the laws, all the rules, all the codes has to move through that ether. It has to move through that environment. You change that language that's used there because you refuse to speak the language the anti-whites give you, the language that anti-whites who call themselves conservatives like Karlyn gives you, and you will start winning like we win. You will start having victories like we have victory. You will start feeling like a moral champion, like we are moral champions. You will begin being the hero in our story rather than a crippled in the anti-white narrative. Open your eyes. You're damn right people are picking up the ideology, the practice, rather, that we have created here in Going Free. You're damn right, because it works, because it's true, because it's true. We are projecting. What she's doing here is she wants to give you the illusion that, and the idea that this is all about some sort of an optics thing, and that some other idea, so that any idea, according to Karlyn, any effort that protects white people is evil, according to Karlyn. Think about that if you are her follower. Think about it. Any effort to protect white people, according to Karlyn, is ipso facto evil. What is the inverse of evil? So you can do this at the same time. If it's evil to protect white people, even our most vulnerable members, but all of us deserve to be protected, just like everybody of every race deserves to be protected from harm. If you have evil and it's evil to protect white people, the opposite of evil is good. The opposite of protecting white people is inflicting harm on white people. You see how we do that? You see how you end up always losing and always getting harmed if you're a white person, or if you care about white people, you married a white person, have a white parent, dating a white person, whatever it might be. Why is it white people are always getting victimized? Because they are infected with these abstractionist ideas and approaches that always result in their victimization. Don't like that, do you, Prager? Don't like me talking to the people and them hearing that, do you? You're writing checks to folks right now, quick. Shut that guy down. You're on the phone, quick, trying to call up YouTube. Shut him down. We can't it's out of the bottle, brother. The genie is out of the bottle. Champions are out there, better than me, smarter than me, better looking than me, better shaped than me, better at speaking than me, better educated than me, and they're spreading it. It's happening. The past always fights against the future, folks. That's what this is. That's what you're feeling, Karlyn. The winds of change. And there's no use resisting it. And this whole thing about inventing anti-white, really quickly, I'll just say, all the way back in 1994, I want to clarify, I thought I invented anti-white, and I thought I invented anti-whiteism because they weren't in the dictionary at my house. I still have that dictionary. They weren't in the dictionaries at the public library, city library. Come to find out, just 2 years ago, by way of a great participant, Final Blossom, he found a 50-year-old dictionary in which anti-white and anti-whiteism were recorded. And now we have found both of these terms in several other dictionaries, fewer and fewer every year. Why are those words taken out of your mouth? If you're a patriot, if you're a conservative, if you're an America First type, why are those words taken out of your mouth? Because you cannot think in your own defense if you don't have the words for your own defense. That's why they've been removed. Let's keep rolling. I mean, I can't believe this winter. Then we'll take a look at what you all are saying. We're getting close to the end. Ask your questions, make your comments, and any financial gifts. And we're going to roll out soon. She writes here, this is a testimonial from one of Jason's minions. Okay, so you see how she's trying to diminish the champions. The champions. Did you just hear how I was talking about the people in service to white well-being? And then you hear how she refers to the people who are in service to white well-being, the people who are doing good things for Western, protecting Western kind, Western civilization, and therefore all of those structures that everyone depends on. She refers to them as minions. How nice of her. Talking about how she went into communities specifically to influence their language use. Okay, so here what she's doing is she's talking about Yiz the eunuch, a great champion in our community who's going around, and she's speaking in different communities, making a change in the world for white well-being, and we love her dearly, force of nature. And Karlyn goes on here and writes, not for nothing, but the communities that she's doing this in are the same ones that many of you are in. So be afraid. They will be very afraid. People out there are going to want to put an end to the victimization of white people. And that is something you need to be afraid of. That's something you have to put down. That's what Karlyn is saying here. I mean, I've seen as I look at these tweets, I've seen stuff like this before, and I've always flushed it. Gagged a little, but always flushed it. Let's see what else we have here. It's just a roast, folks, being friendly, of course. This is, Karlyn writes, this is Jason bragging about how his work is changing language and introducing anti-white as an ideological identifier is more effective than, quote, rallies with men shouting racial epithets. Okay, so once again, this is exactly what I was just talking. Absolutely seen things like this before and flushed them. This is malice aforethought, gatekeeping aforethought. That's what she's up to, ladies and gentlemen. Going to adjust the AC in here. Gatekeeping aforethought by saying, oh, well, if you care about white babies, if you care about white children, if you care about white senior citizens, being abused in old folks' homes, if you care about, you speak up for the actual targets of the victimization, then you are the equivalent of men shouting racial epithets at rallies. That is what she is saying. Let me ask you this. If I throw a stick, Karlyn, will you go away? If it's a really tasty looking stick and I throw it, will you go away? I'm just wondering. This is actually the screenshot that we shared from Yiz the eunuch. She's on YouTube. All of you out there who are curious, Yiz the eunuch, who's this person? Go ahead and look her up on YouTube, and maybe in my live chat, the moderators will be able to share her URL. So that those who are Karlyn supporters can go find out who Yiz the eunuch is. A champion going out into the world. This is the Mises Institute, where all these people are starting to say anti-white because guess what? It's true. It's white people who are the ones who are the targets. But you say, Jason, non-white people are harmed too. They absolutely are. And it's called collateral damage. We don't want non-white people to be harmed. You know how we stop non-white people being harmed? By stopping the primary victim from being harmed, and that's Western kind. So if you're one of those white people who you can't yet speak up for your own kind, you can't yet say enough is enough for the victimization of white children. Yeah, continue teaching white babies how awful it is to be white, sure. But if non-white babies suffer from CRT, well, then that's where you're going to put your foot down. Well, then just understand that non-white babies are going to continue to be harmed because the primary target is going to continue to be harmed until we put an end to anti-whiteism. Anti-whiteism, it's the superset that encapsulates all of those other names, Marxist, communist, etc. Woke brigade. I'll reload. I don't know how many more of these we have. I think there might be as many as, I think there are 14. So we're almost done. We've done 10, I think. Yes, it looks like there are 14. And I'm going to take a look at what you all are saying. And then we will continue. Looks like so many winners are over here on the widget. People trying to start infighting over here on entropy. It's not going to work here. You could try all you want. I love it. Go ahead. This is like, waves against the shore. Go ahead all you want, and all of it will be, all of it will just be knocked down. All right, let me turn around. We will refresh this. I'll have a walkthrough here. We'll see if anybody, by the way, is over there on D Live. And if they are saying anything. We have another financial gift from Kaber. Thank you so much, Kaber. Financially gifting $25 US. God bless you, and thank you so very much for that. $25 financial gift. And he writes here, no white guilt. Damn right. We have no white guilt. That's Kaber, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. And we will walk through this live chat and see. I'm getting an alert. It's maybe on the phone. Maybe we have something to check out. Let's see. Dispatcher says Karlyn's job is to steal the white sense of victimization and amplify it for all others. Well, precisely. The great Elaine Sabatino is here. Great to see you. I want you to ask yourself, folks, followers of Karlyn, of Karlyn's Trail of Crumbs. I want to ask, take a look at the community here who are practicing Go Free. Is this the community that Karlyn has led you to believe that we are? Is this the community that she has depicted to you? And then, since it's not, you better not ask in her live chat, because you'll cut your goddamn hands right off. As this wonderful non-white gentleman said, she will cut your hands right off. And thank you for speaking up. All right. So I'm gonna slide backwards in time and see what you all are saying over here on YouTube. Ask your questions, get your comments in. If you are a follower of Karlyn, you want to make an argument, unlike on Karlyn's channel. If you come over to this channel and you respectfully pose a question, an argument, I will speak to it. On Karlyn's channel, since she's a gatekeeper, she cuts your arms off and then eats the arms after you're gone. But here, I will speak to your questions, your comments. Now, if you show up here like so many of you have been doing, and you're just cussing and you're referring to people with these anti-white slurs, if you're doing that, then you're just going to get banned. So go ahead and ask legitimate questions if you have them. Let's see. Loki says, good day, mate. Missed the last roast when it went live. No way I'm missing it this round. Thank you so much, good brother. It's great to see you from down under, all the way from Australia. And you remember the president just the other day? What a genius. What a genius. Thank you to the fella from down under. Whatever that guy's name is. Where am I? Where am I? All right, I'll take a look at some of these. Oh, so it must be a Karlyn supporter asked and was making other objectionable comments, asking if I was sitting on a cardboard box. Oh yeah, because I'm just, such a Lilliputian. I'm such a Lilliputian. Do you know what that is? Maybe you should look that up. Maybe you should look up what Lilliputian is. Because in your mental exiguity, you're going to be too unintelligent and uneducated to know what it is. But you can say it's got a cardboard box he's sitting on. Fester needs some fluffing. All right, let's keep rolling along here. What else have they said? Machiavelli Sucks is here. Free Your Mind is here. Ian is here. Great to see you, Ian TD. And a big thank you to the moderators for doing a great job they're doing. I see Ray here. Who else is here moderating? And there's the great Mrs. Jess Horst. That was Lala's song earlier. Thank you very much for being here. And someone saying Karlyn isn't white. I don't know. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Doesn't matter to me. All that matters to me is if she's anti-white. Oh, the great Fornola's here. Wonderful to see you, good brother. Yeah, nobody's getting by the great Fornola and Ray. Oh, there you have the Woketionary. That's how you, I guess, are you banned or was it just the comment deleted? Really insightful commentary from some of these folks coming over. These are anti-whites who call themselves conservatives or patriots or nationalists. Folks, good Americans out there, we have Westerners, Westmen, and in fact, I think we have a tweet from Karlyn speaking to that, from all around the world participating in service to white well-being. That's how we reclaim our destiny. You don't do it with this like little regionalism, Bravo Sierra. I can say bullshit. We're just rolling in. So kids shouldn't be with their parents listening to this, unless they're, of course, adult children. Carol said, the people support Karlyn in her drive to destroy Western kind. All right. Just taking a quick look at some of you that had to get some of your comments deleted. Ian says, the fact that Karlyn is having a meltdown over the term anti-white only proves how effective it is. Precisely. It works, and anti-whites hate it that it works. Zero Talent says to Karlyn that I was here long before CRT. Oh, yeah. I've been protecting white people, especially our most vulnerable members, long before CRT was around. Loki said, throw a cupcake, Jason. That would probably just start like a massive fist fight among some of her supporters. All right. Birdie says, do you think Karlyn could say the words, white people have a right to exist? No. Well, not seriously. She can't. She'll say it as lip service and then move right back into an abstractionist idea. I mean, we saw these videos of Karlyn where they're clearly victimizing. This is what we talked about last time. They're clearly victimizing white people. And then she says, but the non-white people, the white people, Karlyn. What is wrong with defending the white people? Why do you have a problem, Karlyn, with us protecting white people? You can protect non-white people all day you want. There are white people right now, this very second. There are multi-million-dollar funded organizations funded by white people, staffed by white people all around the world. They're on the phones. They're talking right now. They are actively in the field, helping, protecting, succoring non-white people. Why do you want to stop white people from helping white people? What in the goddamn hell is wrong with you? Why are you so anti-white? Why are you so anti-white that you want to prevent folks from protecting white people? Prevent folks from protecting white children? What in the hell is wrong with you? I mean, that's a genuine question. And here she'll say, oh, I don't have anything against it, but it's just Nazism. No, it's what you just, that sort of retort, dumb, that sort of retort is, we just did the morality thing. If it's Nazism or Klan behavior or National Social, whatever you want to say, if it is that to protect white people, then the opposite is to victimize them. Get out of their noose. Conservatives out there, nationalists, patriots, MAGA folks, get out of the noose that the leadership of the conservative movement has put around your neck, because you are dying and it is almost over. The anti-whites, and by the way, I'll say this too. I say this kind of thing for our people all the time. I'll say it for the new folks hearing me, live or in replay. We have already lost. America isn't ours anymore. The UK, Italy, Spain, they're not ours anymore. This is about reclaiming our destiny, and that happens on many levels. It begins with the reclaiming of the destiny that's in your own thoughts. That is what we have to do. A conservative leadership, a MAGA leadership, a Republican leader is going to say, we're about to lose something. We're about to go over the cliff. And they keep you in that state for your whole life. So you stay with them, funding them, voting for them, using their verbiage that loses endlessly, because it's a state of fear that they keep you in. They know that fear motivates a person more than anything else. The fear of loss more so than anything else. How many of you, when you're thinking about whether or not you should get into better shape, like if Karlyn says to herself, I should probably drop like 700 pounds. When you think to yourself, you know what, I should be in a little bit of better shape. It would be better for my health. How motivating is that to you compared to your doctor saying, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Jones, if you don't lower your cholesterol, you'll be dead in a year. Exactly. That is where the conservatives and the Republicans keep you, ladies and gentlemen. They keep you in this state of fear that you're about to lose. Don't go off the range. Don't try to get around the gatekeeper. Whatever you do, because you're about to lose. We can't stand to have one more person listen to No White Guilt. We can't stand to have one more person give a like or use to somebody saying anti-white or anti-whiteism or repost anti-white. We can't have one more person doing that because we are on the verge of losing it all. That is how they mentally control you, like cattle. That's why everything's been going down the toilet since our great-grandparents were fighting against anti-whiteism. That's why it's time to get off of this field, this pen where they have you trapped. Get around that gatekeeper. All right. Jay Link says, with so-called conservatives like Karlyn Borysenko, it should be pretty obvious that we already lost. Yeah, precisely. The chat leapt on me, folks. So let me just scroll through here. And I see the Fester Fluffing Bobfish was here earlier. Was it really her, though? We have so many imposters that it's just no way to tell. Heidi is here. Great to see you, sister. She says, I'm here too. Hello, hello. The concept, writes Fit and Healthy at Any Age, of the biospirit explains reality between the races so well, No White Guilt. Thank you for teaching it to us. Something else you can learn, folks, if you decide to go free. It's fair. There's no superior. There's no inferior. It makes perfect sense. You can go free too. All right. Let me take a look at D Live and see what the champions and the gremlins are saying over there. Remember, you got to tag me if you want me to see, because otherwise I just won't see your comments. All right, I don't see anybody having tagged me over there. I will swivel back this way. I will take a look and see as well. I will load this screen and then I will tell you. I'll get back to the tweets from Karlyn and we'll have some more fun. And then I will tell you as it loads, once it loads, what we have. All right, get out your raucous emojis, folks. Get out your raucous emojis. Because remember how Fester's Fluffer was so elated about making more money than me, because that just makes you a better person. It makes you better in all ways if you make more money off of the people who support you. Remember how gleeful she was? She rubbed her hands in a very characteristic, strange way I've seen before
But she kind of rubbed her hands greedily together, and she was so happy about that. I want you all to get your hands together in applause for the one and only No White Guilt Clips, who just financially gifted $100 US. $100 US from No White Guilt Clips. God bless you, brother. Thank you so very much. You know, I bet percentage-wise, we end up bringing in far more in financial gifts to the great work that we are doing in service to white well-being than she does in her retort, rubbing her greedy little fingers together. They rub easily because of all the grease. It makes it a very slippery environment. All right, looks like we have Lala Song came back again. Thank you so very much. Another $5 financial gift from Lala Song. And writes here, you were all wonderful. Everyone in the chat. I have to go and play a video game for a bit. See you around. Also, thanks to all the wonderful people in the chat. Mr. Peanut, Nancy Drew, Mr. Cat Fookers, Ian, Mr. Coconut, and yourself. Please be well. Well, God bless you, brother. Thank you so very much. That is a wonderful testimonial. And that we have wonderful testimonials here all the time in service to white well-being. And thank you for that. We look forward to seeing you again very soon. And we just had the great Johnny Reb come in with, oh my God. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, whip out all of your, not like I asked Karlyn to do when we were going to do the size comparison thing. Whip out your raucous emojis. Whip out your raucous emojis, ladies and gentlemen, because Lady Blue has just financially gifted $2,000 to White Wellbeing. $2,000. God bless you, sister. Oh my gosh. $2,000 to White Wellbeing. That is magnificent. A big salute to you. Thank you so very much. That is amazing. A $2,000 financial gift. Wow. Wow. Said everything she's got to say with that $2,000. Said everything. All working class people. All working class people. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Talk about making the night. That is glorious. And thank you, everybody. Let me jump. I'm going to jump. I'll come back to Johnny Reb in just a moment. Let's get back to the actual reason for the roast. Karlyn Borysenko. Here we are coming to the end of some of her tweets on Wednesday, the attacks on this community and yours. Truly, when he says Westmen, he means white people. Yeah, that's actually right. Yeah, that's something I neoterized. MEN is the plural, MAN is the singular, and as an entire group, it's Western kind. I mean white people. That's right. It takes nothing away from any other group of people. It's just to say that we are more than just a color. We are a single people with many countries around planet Earth. It's a wonderful thing. Many different hues of Western civilization. We embrace every single one of them. And it's one of the reasons why. I mean, we just get a $2,000 financial gift in the middle of a roast. So it's one of the reasons why we are so successful, is that we acknowledge that there is a thing, what we referred to earlier as the biospirit instinct. You can understand it as instinct, and it unites us. We build Western civilization everywhere we go. So Westman, he means white people. But here's the point, though. Why would Karlyn feel the need to put Westman in scare quotes? You know that she doesn't like me, although I like her. I like her a lot. I like her a whole lot. And that's why I feel like I can tell a few jokes about her, because of how much I actually like her. I've given her a gift. So I feel like I can tell her a few jokes, rib her a little bit. But she put Westman in scare quotes to invalidate white people. She says when he says Westman, he means white people. Like is there something wrong with that, Karlyn? Is there something wrong with defending white people? Is there something wrong with identifying white people as victims? Now, she has no problem. Remember this, everybody who's a fan of hers, she has no problem. I'll just turn this around. Karlyn says this about me. When he says Westman, he means white people. And then here's what I have to say about Karlyn. When she says Nazi, she means white people. When Karlyn says racist, she means white people. When Karlyn says National Socialist, she means white people. When Karlyn says Klansman, she means white people. And to continue with her tweet, when he says vagues, he means anyone that he dubs anti-white. Wrong. Parenthetically, she continues, which has nothing to do with skin color, but rather has to do with whether you are part of his movement or not. Well, it's true that it has nothing to do with skin color, but we use the word vague for what you probably use, normie or NPC, or these different terms for the average person out there that's neither one way or another. We call them vague because they're vague to us. We don't know where they stand. And very often they're vague in their own thoughts. They don't know. Are they anti-white? Are they couldn't care less about politics or society or the crime rate going up or their wages going down relative to increasing prices and inflation and on, the right to self-defense? Or are they actually the kind of person who might maybe like you care about those things and you would like to see something done to put an end to the erosion of those values and the destruction of Western civilization? So we call everyone else that we don't know vague, and everyone else, or I should say, we watch everyone and we allow them by their words and behavior to decide, to tell us, to project to us, to signal to us what they are. We don't decide what somebody is ahead of time, not based on any of their characteristics, nothing. So if somebody acts and talks anti-white, then we just acknowledge that they're anti-white. If we don't know, we call them a vague. If they care about white well-being, then we acknowledge them as a hero. That's what it's all about. And then she's got some screenshots of my book, not a manifesto. It's a book, and it's actually been for sale for a very long time. And it goes way back in time to pamphlets that I made when we started putting together. For those who don't know, when I began, I used different terms. I used reason and logic to see what would work, what could be adopted quickly, and I subjected it all to the scientific method. The things that didn't work, we threw in the 86dom. The things that worked, we kept. She goes on. He admits he's been pushing this agenda for over 2 decades. For over 2 decades. Yeah, it's actually been near 3, but it's true. I have been. Can you believe speaking just like menacingly about caring about white people and white children? Like it's some sort of horror. He admits that he has cared about white children for 2 long decades. What are you all doing over there on Odysee? You having fun? How many folks are over there? I'll have to, for Karlyn and some of her supporters that are pretty thick, I'll try explaining everything in the smallest words I possibly can, because I know this is tough for you. But when you write about the defense of white children as though it is something that the villain in a movie would do, it means that you object to the defense of white children, right? You should be able to figure that out. She says he has been trying to get the term anti-white into the cultural zeitgeist since 1994, and I succeeded. Along with all of these champions, we did it. And we're pushing more. She says, this didn't start with critical race theory. They are simply using critical race theory to advance their agenda. You're damn right. Our agenda of putting an end to anti-whiteism and the victimization of Western kind. We are going to use the things the anti-whites do and the things that you do, Karlyn, and other anti-whites who call themselves conservatives. We will use it all to be victorious and recapture our destiny. She writes here, in this stream, he was celebrating the publication. Look at this. By your leader's own words, take me to your leader. Her own words. Another one of our victories. How many victories do you have as a conservative or a Republican or a MAGA person or an America First? How many victories do you actually have? Or do you not spend your life cataloging all of the losses? In this stream, he was celebrating the publication of this article in the New York Post that featured the term anti-white in the headline. Yes, I was. And I will do more and more of that. I think this might be the last. It is the last of her tweets so far. But of course, she is live streaming or was live streaming us. I would imagine she's probably run to her bedroom and she's probably in fierce tears, holding on to her giant Jason penis pillow, cradling it, and soon she'll be up to playing the banjo. But before then, we're going to read that she wrote, I'll tell you what, this is a huge, yeah, it is. I did not plan that. I definitely did not plan. This is a huge victory. She's quoting me. She's quoting me. We're seeing anti-white used on a regular basis on Fox, CNN, MSNBC, politicians, YouTube personalities. It came out of the white positive sphere, out of the work I've been doing for nearly 3 decades. Yes. Yes, it absolutely has. Thank you so much, Karlyn. That was wonderful. I'm going to take a quick look at what the rest of you are saying, and we're going to be rolling out of here in just a minute. It was, what was her name? Lady, the phone shut down. Was it Lady Blue? My God. That is absolutely magnificent. Let me spin around here and see what you all are saying, and we will refresh. We will take a look at, oh, you know what? Oh, I should check. I didn't. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's fine. It's blank over there, which is good. And then we're going to roll out. Let me see. Free Your Mind says Karlyn is on the left side of the bell curve. I don't know. You think so? I think she's cunning. I think she's cunning. I think she's, at least average intelligence, and she's cunning. And she probably has some smart people behind her. And right now they're telling her, disengage. He's mopping the floor with you. Come back to fight another day. Donning Armor is here. Great to see you, brother. Kent and American Zarathustra. Pants, great to see you. And remember to tag me if you have a question or a comment, and I will get to it. Eric says CRT affects all races, not just whites. And you won't get a objection from me on that. However, white people are the target, and non-white people are collateral damage. I got some really silly questions from, I guess, Karlyn supporters. They're real supporters. Very silly things, like I'm from the west side of the country or continent. Does that make me no? Heidi says, send her a book. I've already sent her a book and she downloaded it. Pants says, she still wants Jason. I fear for our brother. I have a chastity belt on. Seriously. She can't get through it. All right. Elaine says, hail to no white guilt. Artist Life says, no white guilt, never. Jill says, hello. Hello to you, Jill, to a host of our great champions here. Oh, I will send Lady Blue the book. Without question, she's getting all the books. She's getting all the books. Whatever she doesn't have, she'll get. She's getting them all. All right. I don't see anything there. So we're blank there. That's good. And I don't see any questions here. Let me check here. See if anybody has left any comments. I like the hopping bird thing. I don't know what that's about. All right. And now we'll swivel back around to here. And we have Johnny Reb, the great Johnny Reb. And I guess we can go ahead and pull this down. We want to make sure we give, let me just maybe do some of it. Do some of this and some of that, and just make sure the mic is out of the way. She'll send a thank you later. Me with Oh Glory. And we will ask and we will answer. Johnny Reb, $5 financial gift. Thank you, brother. Anti-whites have no fear of the abstractionists and individualism of conservatives. Absolutely correct. Thank you for making that's a fantastic point, Johnny Reb. I want you to think about that. If you're consider yourself a conservative, you're hearing us for the first time. Anti-whites, now these are the anti-whites who call themselves Marxists, Democrats, etc. They have no fear of abstractions and the radical individualism of conservatives. Whites were steadily more victimized during the 35 years Rush Limbaugh preached individualism and abstractions. Precisely. Radical individualism, folks, is suicide in a world of collectivism. I want you all to replay that 10,000 times, what I just said. If you're a conservative, say it to yourself 10,000 times, and it will finally land that, oh my God, what I've been told intentionally undermined me and everything that I care about. Johnny Reb goes on, Jason's approach is the way to prevent whites from being harmed. Precisely. And thereby all races, and thereby the environment, etc. God bless you, Johnny Reb. Casual Cruising comes in, another champion, $5 financial gift. Righteous anger is a natural reaction to anti-whiteism. And I'd be completely lost in a whirlwind of it if it weren't for people like Jason. You keep me sane, brother. And Aunt Nat in a skull mask never helped me reach long lost family members. Wow. Now that is a wonderful testimonial. And I really want to thank you for sharing that. Casual Cruising. I want to read that again because, folks, if you are out there and you are an antique nationalist, or you are one of these people playing the villain in the anti-white narrative, you're ugly, you want to look scary, you want to wear a skull mask, you want to go out and march and be mean looking and scary to the weakest members of other races or whatever it might be, you want to do something dumb like that, you can go wrong, then you can go right and go free with us. Because listen to what Casual Cruising just said. Righteous anger is a natural reaction to anti-whiteism. 100% agree. And I'd be completely lost in a whirlwind of it if it weren't for people like Jason. You keep me sane, brother. And Aunt Nat, antique nationalists, what we call them, in a skull mask, never helped me reach long lost family members. Casual Cruising has reached long lost family members. and brought them over to going free, brought them over incrementally, piece by piece, to a white positive position. You were never going to get there with Aunt Nat Nitwittery, and you were never going to get there with conservative abstractionist nonsense, radical individualist nonsense. It doesn't win. You have a lifetime of losing. How old are you? Let me just say, seriously, I want to ask you, you all who are consider yourself conservative or patriotic or libertarian or whatever it might be, how old are you? Because for all those years, your approach has been failing. I really think about it. For all those years, maybe you're 18 and it hasn't been very long, but maybe you're 85. It's been a long time. You can learn from those 85-year-olds. If you're somewhere under that, you've been losing the whole time. How many times do you have to lose? How many losses does it take before you finally say, I'm going to get out of this pen? I realize Karlyn is, she's right at the gate. She's not letting anybody get by. But I'm going to get out of the pen. I'm going to go free. I'm going to use something that works. I want to be the moral person in my story, in our people's story, rather than the villain in their story, or the cripple, or the effete, or the loser in their story. You always lose. Look at the leaders they put before you. It's an operation. They are always wimps. They are always intended to lose. This is the boxer who takes a dive. It's the racehorse that has a jockey pull short on the race in the final stretch. And it's been happening your whole life. Go free of that nonsense. You got to come over here with us. I mean, when Karlyn was born, the doctor slapped her mother. You need to get away from that. You need to come do something that will make you whole, that will make you a victor, that will make you a champion. And you can do that by going free. Thank you so much for that, Casual Cruising. I don't see anything of any value in the question widget over on Entropy. It looks like quite the mess. But I'll have another quick look over here to see, did anybody comment on Odysee? I don't want to miss anything. I don't see. How about on D Live over here? No, we didn't miss anybody. Let me turn around this way, and looks good over here. Thank you all for the applause. Thank you all for showing up for the roll-in tonight. And cis white male with extra privilege says, no white guilt is grassroots. I see signs on the highway, handmade, that say no white guilt. Precisely. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for pointing that out. We are showing up everywhere. There is no central funding. There is no group of millionaires that are coming up with the prescriptions to endlessly lose in the contests with anti-whites. You have to stop putting your faith in politicians. You have to stop putting your faith in conservative leaders like Karlyn Borysenko, and you need to get engaged yourself to make a change. You are not doing anything if you are simply arming yourself to be as au courant, to be as knowledgeable about all the ways that you have lost. I've seen that on your conservative and patriotic channels. That's what you all think is the substance of doing something. You might sign a petition here or there, but look at the victories that we have. Look at this woman up in New York that we are on the verge of having her license pulled. And you'll discover the magic of how going free works, the lexicon, the verbiage, all the victories that we have. For Karlyn, once again, this was just a roast. I love Karlyn. Do not reach out to her. I was not intentionally insulting her. This was just comedy. I wasn't making fun of her. I wasn't insulting her. I was just describing her. So do not bother Karlyn. Do not write her. Do not go into her chat. Do not get into her Twitter or anything like that. But please, if her followers, they have questions for you about all the good that we do here in service to white well-being, and what is going free and what is the lexicon, make sure you answer those questions for those folks, because there'll be a lot of them coming around since we had this little dust up, just like we had the dust up last time. I really enjoyed watching the sub count. By the way, if you're also a conservative, just so you know, or somebody brand new to me, the anti-whites at YouTube cripple the sub count on this channel. They shadow ban it, they cripple it. So who knows what the exact number of subs are. When we had the last dust up with Karlyn, the sub count went up by several hundred and hers dropped by several thousand. I imagine the same thing will happen again. And I'll have a big laugh when it does. Check entropy. Oh, that was casual cruising. We got that. Raymond says, do you think she read the manifesto? Yeah, I think she's got it. I think she's got it. And I think she's probably cried in front of her mirror and put lipstick on thickly and then kissed all over the book. That's probably what's happened. I'm kidding. That's probably not true, but it probably is true. All right. For the rest of you, I love you all. This has been a marvelous Going Free, a Roland Going Free. Let everybody know that we're here. We're here constantly. We're making it happen in service for white well-being. I don't think we missed anything. No, we didn't. A big thank you to everybody who financially gifted, especially Lady Blue. God bless you. You'll get everything that every edition and as many copies as you like, sweet lady. And a big thank you to everybody who financially gifted. We had a slew of people, and this is not normal for us to have financial gifts on a Friday. We normally show up on Sunday, and we got another financial gift. And this was Nature's Dude financially gifting $10 US. God bless you, Nature's Dude. Have you financially gifted before? I thank you very much. $10 and writes no white guilt. Well, I'm told that Karlyn is still live streaming, and I guess she's talking about us. So you could give her a listen, and but don't harass her. Do not harass her. Do not bother her. You know, she'll bite your arm off. She really will. I love you all. Roll out.